Everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Harina Nava. This is the part 2 of the video, me answering your questions around secondment. So in this video I just want to delve into details around the application process. So I know people are asking in detail what some of the factors that will be considered in when you're applying for secondment. So I think just one thing to note, guys, is that even if you apply via third party, like myself, that I applied cross country, at the end of the day, you end up working with the big four in America or the top 6 companies. So you can go and so I did my articles with one of the big four, right? So I could have just applied internally, then I'll go to like the same big four office in America and then audit like the normal auditing way, or I actually go and apply via third party like cross country or Robert Wattles, and then but at the end of the day I still go to one of the big four. So you are auditing and you only audit with the big four or the top 6 companies. Yeah, so it's not like you go and I don't know, these third party companies are not audit firms. So that's what I'm trying to explain, that you, at the end of the day, you are going to one of the big four or one of the top 6 companies in the world. Okay, so basically the application process, one thing you need to note is that I think the demand for South African CAs or South African people that have completed their articles is very high. So to get a secondment in America or in the UK or wherever in the world, it's normally not a difficult process. They're really looking for many people, and sometimes they don't get all the people they want, right? So maybe you might struggle to get that specific company, or I don't know, go via a third party that maybe you want. So I know, like I told you guys, for me, I chose cross country because it paid better than the internal process or the internal job. I'll say that if you do secondment via internally. So there was a reason. So maybe you obviously might struggle to then get to cross country because maybe they're looking for few people or people with certain experience. But at the end of the day, normally it's very easy to get secondment in general. Okay, so the process will be so if it's an internal one, normally they'll send the email to all 30 years and say the process is started. Send your application if you want to be considered, and then in your application you normally indicate your preference, maybe 3 countries, state that you prefer to go to, and then obviously you just explain your experiences, and most of the time it's just really mainly clients. So you actually like have to list your clients and say I was auditing this company, I don't know, I have experience in financial services, I audited one of the banks or mining, and these are my clients, and then you explain. It's like basically how you do your CV, but you really try and put the clients on your CV, and then you explain the experiences you got, being that you're auditing the client, you're supervising the trainees, make sure the team meet the deadlines and all that, lays with the specialists, how you do your CV. Okay, so then you send your application, and then they will then go through the application, your CVs, and then shortlist people. Even the internal one, guys, because the demand is so high, it's almost like everyone that wants to go on secondment will go on secondment, guys. That's just how easy this process is. So then they'll shortlist people, they'll get back to you guys, and then you do an interview. Okay, and basically also it's really not that complicated as how you will when you go for interviews for other jobs after qualifying, where you even do assessment and all that. No, that's not the process here. So then you do your interview, but obviously they're just looking for someone who has experience in auditing, nice personal culture, personality, and then you're able to explain yourself, what are you good at, your experience and all that. Okay, especially if it's an internal one, it's very easy because by the time you know the culture, the system, the audit software and all that, and your ratings also will come to play, how your performance at the firm and all that. So they will check for those things. But yeah, at the end of the day, most people will get it in. If with the third party, it's the same thing. You have to apply, and then on the application you also include your clients, your experience, and obviously just give an explanation why you want to go to America, and like what does it mean for you, and then you be like, basically you experience the American culture or the Europe or wherever you're applying for to go to, and then you just detail the experience, normal CV, send it to them. They'll obviously look at it and then send it back, and then just shortlist you and start the conversation, and then you have an interview. For me, I then had the first interview where it's kind of like a meet and greet, and it's not hectic, and then they just try to understand your personality, who are you, and then what experiences do you have and all that. And then after that, I then had a cultural interview. Some people actually have the cultural interview and the meet and greet at the same time, but I didn't. It's more just I think what you need to do at that point is you need to go and then check on their company website, just to understand their cultures, their values, and all that, so that in the interview you are aligned. Maybe this company is very big on giving back to communities, so and in your interview you also need to and not lie, we're not lying here, ethical people, but you just need to take that into account, and then look at how you apply their values in your life, so that during the conversation you can bring in how you also like giving back to the community, that you mentor people, you work on non-profit organizations, something along those lines, so that the company can see that their values and yours are aligned, because at the end of the day they are looking for people that aligns to their values, so that you add value. Because remember now, these third parties then have contract with the Big Four, they have this contract with the Big Four where they will hire you and then send it to this one company, the Big Four. And when you get there, that Big Four company, you need to, you are a consultant from, let's say, from cross country or Robert Walters, so you must, display the company's values, where you come from, and then really present them well, because remember, at the end of the day, it's all about profit, and building relationship, and how you perform at the client will also determine if they get the contract the following year or so. So they really want people that aligns to who they are and all that. That also applies to the internal application process, where they want to send people abroad that actually display the South African culture, who are we, the fact that we believe in producing high quality audit, and all that. So you really must prepare for the interview, okay? Even though the process, it's easy to get secondment, but you still need to prepare for the interview and really know your story, really know your CV, and all that. So once you pass that stage, I also had a technical interview, and at that point, because personally, my articles really revolved around doing IFRS 9, and all that. So then I had a technical interview where it will be someone from the third party that basically has similar experience to you, or one of the partners of the firm, and then they'll just have an interview, really. And it's, when I say technical, it's really based on all the knowledge and experience that you wrote in your CV, that you said this and this, and then they'll ask you around that, explain a bit further, and then ask you any technical question. So you really need to revise your work, or really know exactly how, whatever that you think just make sure you know it well, and then practice. And another thing is that they actually prepare you. So their recruitment teams will actually prepare you for these interviews with the partner or the higher level management at the firm. So they prepare you, so you'll be fine. And then once you pass it, and then you then get to the stage where you get your offer, and then you are told about all the benefits and everything. And then after that, if you accept the offer, you then start the process with another department. There's only like your immigration and something department. So you then start the process of applying for the visa. Remember, they are covering all this cost and all that. So you book an interview, like an appointment with the embassy, and then you go and then apply for the visa. And before that, the company will prep you, whether it's third party or internally, they're going to prep you on how to pass the interview at the embassy, what you need to bring and all that. the question that I normally ask, like why are you going to America, how are you going to add value, how is this going to add value in South Africa, all those things. So you really go there prepared, because you really have to be prepared. And I think how difficult the interview gets at the embassy, it depends on the person that you meet. So the people there, it really depends. Sometimes you get people that ask you a lot of questions, really shake you up, or you get people that just don't ask you a lot of questions. Personally, I had prepared a lot, like really prepared my answers on all the questions that they normally ask, but they didn't ask me much. They were just like, how much you're gonna get paid, because they want to assess if you'll be able to survive in another country. I don't want people living in South Africa and going there, now you start staying on the street, you don't have money for food. So they assess things like that. And then they were like, have you been outside South Africa? And then I was like, no. And then basically nothing. And then there's already like documents that the third party or the internal company will actually give you, to provide and all that. So it just went well. Then I got my visa, and then once you receive you've got a new visa, then you start the process of, for me, then they then started looking for flight, and then they booked my flight around September or so. And then then you sort it. And then obviously they just keep giving you more information on what you need to bring, even on the plane, passing customs and all that. So like what I'm trying to say is that they guide you, like they really, really guide you. There's nothing to be, scared about, because they guide you all the way, even when you get to America, like, Europe or wherever you're going to, there's someone, guiding you on what to do. So I basically just think that that's basically it, and that's how you get your secondment. You just need to know yourself, be able to, obviously present yourself in the meeting, on your interviews, and, just explain confidently your experience, your client experience and all that. And I think one of the things might be that sometimes companies tend to hire maybe people with a certain background in terms of like experience, or maybe they might be like, okay, they're looking for someone in financial services. That might be an issue if you haven't done financial service, you haven't audited financial services client before. But other than that, there's really a room for everyone. So it's very easy to get secondment, but just still practice. Look at your CV, really understand what you're putting in your CV. Do not lie, because then when if you say, I have an IFRS 2 experience, and then the person start asking you about that, then you don't know the answer. That's lying. That's not cool. You must really just prepare yourself and understand what you're putting on your CV. Guys, I think I tried to give you more on the application process. Let me know if you still have any questions. Stay tuned. Bye.